demon children. Obviously, this is probably her child. He's so good that you just need to dance with him and then suddenly you're horny as hell. God, you're being hateful now. You're being so hateful. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
You. What are you doing here?
I don't know, girl. Okay, I was dragged down here against my own will. Not like I wanted to come here. I looked up, finally having the courage to take in my surroundings. This is the part where we actually do something about it. My heart stopped beating for a moment, seizing in my chest. Oh, hey! Hey! What's up? I looked up to see 5 vigorous strangers, monsters, beings that I didn't recognize. They all looked down at me in surprise as if I had dropped in at a very bad time. Why did they let me go in a place like this? I thought I was being if they were gonna take me to this one day, not that I'm complaining, but if they were gonna take me to the demon lord, then they could have just taken me right into where his castle is, not fucking where the rebellion army is, okay? What is this? One man looked like an orc from a fantasy game without the tusk. He had broken horns and had a very frightening aura around him as he stared at me. The other male was lanky in comparison, more human-like, but I could almost feel power emanating from him regardless. One of the women who was staring at me had rabbit ears. They twitched on the top of her head as she looked at me and gripped her staff. She seemed harmless, yet she had animal ears, which is interesting enough. The one creature that I couldn't discern the sex of seemed more excited to see me than surprised. What freaked me out about them was that they had wings sticking out from their backs and they were floating. Whoa. The last woman, however, set off alarm bells in my head as I looked at her surprised face. Her hair, her eyes. Diana? Yo, girl, what's up? As I stared, the woman turned her body towards me in recognition to the name I called her. It was her.
What are you doing here?
I don't know. Not like fuck I know. Shit. Diana walked towards me and stared down at me. It was odd. She didn't look like a human, yet I wasn't afraid of her demon form as it towered over me. I was more in shock as to what was going on. Before Diana could speak further, most likely to repeat herself, a figure quickly stepped up and bowed to her, kneeling beside me.
My lady, please forgive me. I felt something moving between our worlds and assumed the Demon Lord was to blame, so I intercepted his summoning of this human.
Oh! So that's what happened. Okay, makes sense now. Good. We resolved that.
You. So I wasn't the only one who felt the change in the air.
My bad. Diana stared at the man kneeling beside me as I kept my eyes up at her. As she turned her gaze back to me, I gulped silently. What was she going to do with me? Well, it's not like she can do anything to me. Come on, girl. It's not my fault, okay? Not like I wanted to come here. This all felt wrong. I was about to be married. I was about to live my happily ever after with the man I loved. Now I was in a place I didn't know with Diana and a bunch of other creatures I didn't recognize. My instinct was to cry, scream, attack, stay still. Cry. She's so emotionally unstable right now that all she could do is just cry. I would just stay still. I'm just gonna stay still. I couldn't move. My mind was empty of emotions except for fear. Why was this happening? Where was I? Why was Diana here? Diana stared down at me before sighing and kneeling down to my level. As she settled onto her knees, I leaned away from her, unsure what she'd do. Was she going to kiss me again and take my energy? Knowing her, maybe.
Can you tell me what happened?
Aw, she's being so nice to me. That's good. I didn't want to speak. I felt no courage to. My mind was so wrapped around this chaos that I felt nothing but fear and anxiousness. This couldn't have been happening. I was dreaming. Yeah, I'm a little shell-shocked right now. I'd be too, you know. I'd be a little confused. I'd be a little startled.
Is she okay?
No. Do I look like I'm okay?
I don't think so.
Exactly.
This is a waste of our time. Just kill her or something.
Excuse me? Who the fuck asked you?
Yes, because that's a smart thing to do. Kill someone who is clearly traumatized and has done nothing to deserve death. Brilliant idea. Bravo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Diana continued to stare at me, waiting for me to answer. Why? She didn't cast a spell on me, nor did she attack me. She continued to wait and stare. Slowly, my mind began to sink into the situation. Diana was willing to listen. Was she willing to help? That was another question, but first I had to answer her. My voice didn't want to answer still, so I forced myself to nod, wanting to answer her somehow. Diana smiled softly, which conflicted with my memories of her. She never smiled like that before, yet she was now. Aww. Yeah, why change an attitude, huh? Diana held out her hand, ushering me to take it. See, if you were this nice to me in the beginning when we first met, like, I would have liked you. I would have liked you way better.
Can you stand?
Yeah. I don't know. I nodded again and took her hand, standing up at last. I looked around at the other beings in the room. They all kept their gaze to me, unsure what I would do or say. Diana, however, led the conversation.
First, can you tell me what happened to you?
Well, I was in my room. I was getting all dolled up, and I was gonna get married, to like Erik. And then suddenly, I was pulled through the floor, and now here I am. I took a breath, recounting everything that happened. I was about to go to the church and be married, and then I was attacked by this darkness. A couple of hands grabbed my legs and pulled me into it, and then I fell here.
A shadow summoning.
Meh, that's what you call it. Diana turned to one of the beings, a lanky male, and glared.
One of yours couldn't have.
What? No.
On my honor, it wasn't any of mine. We have nothing to gain from kidnapping a human. Nor do we know who this woman is, anyhow.
True.
My lady, if I may, I clearly remember hearing imp demons in the void along with her. It must have been the Demon Lord's henchmen.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
Those damnable creatures. That explains it.
Yep, so it's not my fault. Diana crossed her arms and looked to me again.
Well, dear, it seems that you were to be either a new harem girl for the Demon Lord to ravish, or bait for the boys to return to their father's side. Either way, I doubt you would have lived long had the Demon Lord gotten his hands on you.
Oh shit. Then, thanks. Thanks for the save then. A violent shiver ran up my spine. Was it true I would have died? Damn, shit.
Wait a minute. This girl knows about the Demon Lord's heirs?
Yeah, totally. I was gonna marry one of them.
Yes. Hilariously enough, she was set to marry one of
Yeah.
them, as you can see from her garb.
Yeah. Motioned towards my dress, I realized how vulnerable I was and felt extremely self-conscious. I wrapped my arms around myself as Diana let out a sigh.
Well, since you do not belong here, the obvious thing to do is to send you home.
Exactly, but you're not gonna do that to me, are you? I couldn't help but stare wide-eyed at Diana. She was really going to send me home. Really, I couldn't believe my ears. You will really send me back? Really?
Of course. It should be easy to do once everything is in order. It'll be like you never left the human world.
That's great, but I'm pretty sure something's gonna come up and I'm gonna be stuck here, aren't I? Wait, I never left the human world? Yeah, this isn't the human world, bitch, in case you hadn't noticed. What do you mean by left the human world? Wow, you're so fucking dumb. Diana stared before chuckling softly and gesturing to the room and beings within it.
Dear, do you not realize where you are? You are in the demon world.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus. My mind went blank. I couldn't be in the demon world. No way in hell. Well, psh. Okay, whatever. I felt myself back up against the wall behind me, suddenly afraid I was in another world. How? That was impossible. But you just got dragged through the fucking floor through darkness and shit. I don't understand how, where else do you think you're gonna end up? Walmart? Diana stepped towards me, both of her hands softly trying to show her... Diana stepped towards me, both of her hands softly trying to show she meant no harm as she positioned them in front of her body.
Do not panic. We will send you back now, so there's nothing to worry about.
Good, yeah, exactly. So it's all fine and dandy.
How will you power the spell? Bringing someone here is no easy task, but sending someone back consumes much more energy.
See, I told you some complication is going to prevent me from coming back. Jeez, going back.
I'll use what energy I have now and rest. We can organize the siege another time when I fully recover. It's not like the Demon Lord can escape the corner we've trapped him in. So we do have some time to spare.
That's great.
You'd waste time and energy on this human. We must strike now while the Demon Lord is weakened.
I mean, I don't know. Just, fuck, man. I can stay here. It's all good.
But the human doesn't belong here. She needs to go home.
I know. I got a wedding to go to. Yeah, that too. But you do what you do.
Shall I prepare the return spell?
Do. I grant you permission to use my energy to power the spell.
Okay. With a nod, the lanky man held out his hand towards the wall. I looked over in the direction it was aimed at. Whoa, Diana's shadow? I watched as Diana's shadow simply stood against the wall, mirroring the movements of the real succubus in the room. Before my eyes, the shadow began to morph and expand on the wall on its own. Ooh, fancy. Ooh, you okay, girl? I looked back to Diana to see her wrapping her arms around herself and curling her shoulders over, as if she was in pain. Her nails embedded themselves into her forearms, and I could barely make out a painful hiss escaping her clenched teeth. gosh, if I knew this was gonna be that bad, then maybe I could just chill here. You know, I could just chill. I could just chill here while you go do your own shit, and then you can come back and like we can do this later. Was the spell hurting her that badly? I turned back to the wall to see Diana's shadow shaking and vibrating, as if it was resisting the change the man was forcing on it.
You will obey my command. Open the gates to the void, and allow passage to the world we seek.
Okay, this wow, demon magic.
Transitum perenam peto tranibris. Ubi aperiut. Iano ium. Decidirum.
Wow. Ooh, fancy. Upon Diana's final word, her shadow burst and expanded into an oval-shaped doorway. I stared wide-eyed at the passage before a hand placed itself on my shoulder, forcing me to look over. The one with the sphere gently pressed my shoulder forward and looked down at me with almost a stern face.
You must leave now. The faster you leave, the quicker we can close the void.
Okay, god damn, I'm going.
Go! Go get married!
Yeah, I got it. I quickly nodded and lifted the bottom of my dress, stepping forward and to make a run for the passageway. However, before I could bolt towards my freedom, a snarl echoed through the room. What the fuck?
How dare you interfere with my summoning!
Ah, shit. See, I told you something bad is gonna happen and I'm not gonna leave this place either way. Ah, shit. At that moment, Diana began to scream, arching her spine and throwing her head back. Around her body were red-tinted bolts of lightning flashing and shocking her form. Gosh.
No!
Oh, God.
Human! Use the passage! Now!
Are you sure? Oh my god, if I get stuck, I'm gonna fucking blame it on you. He didn't have to tell me twice. I bolted towards the portal, diving forward as I neared it, but I was forced back by a burst of energy and a flash of red light. I fell to the floor, almost slamming my head onto the stone. Oh, bitch! Ow! Ugh. Bitch.
A human will never, ever leave this world alive!
Who made you God? God damn it.
You spineless worm!
Close the portal! The demon lord might get through!
But the human...
Nah, I'm good.
Close it!
Yes, close it. Do it, yeah. As commanded, the man pulled his hand back, visually forcing his arm back behind his... As commanded, the man pulled his hand back, visually forcing his arm back behind his body, and Diana's shadow quickly began to morph back into a simple shadow. The electricity around Diana faded away, and she began to tip forward. The man with the spear dropped his weapon and caught Diana in his arms, cradling her to his body as she panted and gasped for air. Well, that went well.
I don't sense the demon lord anywhere.
That's good, I guess.
The worm has to scurry through the shadows to try and fight back. He'll be dead soon enough.
Huh?
How is she, guard?
Diana seemed to look uninjured, but her body was twitching from the aftermath of the magical attack. Her visible eye was shut tight as she dug her fingers into the guard's jacket to cling to him. As her eye opened, I saw not a blood ruby red color, but I saw a cold and unfriendly golden color painted over her iris. Her mouth opened as she panted for air, and I could see hunger in her facial expression, but she continued to stare at the wall, not wanting to make eye contact with anyone.
There are no physical wounds, but she's been weakened. I must give her my energy so she can recover.
Okay, you do that. Bye. They're gonna bang. The man swiftly moved and hooked an arm underneath Diana's knees, lifting her up bridal style as she clung to his jacket, shivering. The spear that had fallen to the floor faded into black and purple mist as he quickly left the room with her in his arms. My mind, however, began to panic. I couldn't go home. Why was I being forced to stay? Damn the demon lord, this wasn't right. Yeah, he's a bitch.
There's an imp in the castle. That is the only way the demon lord could have been able to interfere.
Really, then should we just kill it then?
You! Guards by the door! Hunt it down!
Yeah. A pair of guards that were apparently by the door saluted the one commanding them and ran off. I felt out of place, alone, terrified as to what was going to happen. The demon lord wanted me here, and his words pounded at my mind. How was I going to get home? Would I ever be able to go home?
Hey.
What? I looked up to see the winged person hovering near me before they moved and sat on their knees on the stone ground beside me.
We'll get you home, okay? Diana just needs a little rest, okay?
Okay.
She needs more than rest. She needs to use a different spell to send her back. The demon lord will expect her to use the shadow spell again.
Oh.
How about the normal way? I'm sure we can connect to a witch, or even the warlock she used before, to reopen a portal to the human world.
That I cannot exactly guarantee.
The warlock she used to get to the human world died, remember?
Yeah.
And he was the most powerful warlock in the human world. Practically a god himself.
Oh, snap.
What other human could be used to open a portal without another human dying?
Oh, snap. My grandfather was like a god warlock? He's a god tier warlock? Shit! Why didn't you tell me?
It was merely a suggestion. The faster we get this human home, the faster we can move on and finish off the Demon Lord.
I know that, okay? God.
Well, what are we going to do with the human now?
Do you guys have like a phone or something? Like,
We can give her a room to rest in. Humans need sleep after all. Maybe by the time she wakes up, we'll think of a solution.
okay.
Come.
Okay. The woman with rabbit ears looked down at me and lowered her hand to me, inviting me to take it. She had a kind but concerned expression on her face, so I trusted her. I slowly took her hand and began to stand up as the fairy figure brushed off the small patches of dust that had accumulated on my dress. I couldn't do anything. I was forced to listen to the beings around me because there was nothing else I could do. Without them, I couldn't get home. My heart ached, but I had to accept my predicament. Yes.
Here, I'll bring you to the open ambassador's room. You are free to rest there for now.
Thanks. What about Diana? Okay. What about Diana? Okay. Diana, no, I'm not too concerned about her. She got that person taking care of her. Okay. I was led out of the room and into the hall. I kept my eyes down, trying to take in more of the situation I was in. I was trapped in the demon world and Diana was out of commission. The demon lord had plans for me, but what exactly was he aiming for? I don't know. I could have been bait, I could have been revenge. I didn't know, nor could I figure it out now. At least I was safe. At least I hoped I was safe. Yeah, you best wish you were safe. You are safe. Ooh, fancy. The woman led me to a room that practically screamed medieval fantasy. Everything was clean, but it still had that old age feel, as if no one had ever stepped foot in the room until that moment.
Rest here for now. When Diana is well again, we can discuss what to do.
Okay. Shit, but where the hell are we though? Thank you. In terms of, geographically, where are we? I nodded to the woman before she gently curtsied and left, closing the door behind her. I took a moment to observe my surroundings, interested in understanding the aesthetics. This was fantasy turned into reality. It was like I had gone back in time. Yeah, tell me about it. Why though? Why though? Was the demon world really that behind in the times, or did magic supersede technology and this was the result? Maybe it's technology. Yeah, maybe the magic thing. Despite the situation I was in, which was beyond heartbreaking and terrible, my curiosity began to fester in my mind as I was given a golden opportunity to learn something new. However, my thoughts began to drift, and I felt myself becoming weak and dizzy, no doubt from the shock and trauma I had gone through. I stumbled towards the bed, needing to sit down and let everything settle in without passing out. As my rear hit the mattress, however, I let out a small pleasured sigh. Holy crap, this is a comfy mattress. Damn, Egyptian cotton and shit? What is this? Sealy? Sealy mattress? I felt myself fall back and my entire body simply melted into the softness beneath my body. It was like I was sleeping on a cloud. Was that possible? Demon magic may have had something to do with it, but I was certain that I was drifting into almost a blissful sleep just by lying on the blankets and mattress. Not caring that I was still in my dress, I closed my eyes and drifted to sleep. I needed the rest since Diana wouldn't be available for a while anyway. Yep, nothing to do but sleep. Darkness surrounded my mind, my dreams remaining silent and hushed in a cool and calm black. No nightmares appeared and no sounds were made. I was simply resting, and that was all my body needed. I let my thoughts wander in my subconscious, thinking about what was going to happen now. What will the boys do when they realize I'm gone? Panic. What will he do? Panic. I imagined him finding a way through to the demon world and pulling me back to where I belonged, wrapping me in his arms and swearing never to let me go. I would be relieved and we would be married just as we planned. Nah, girl, that's just too easy. How unrealistic was that? Exactly. I had to be realistic right now. I was stuck, and the only one who seemed to be able to send me back was Diana and her companions, whoever they were. I had to trust them whether I liked it or not, because you're stuck with them. Eventually, I did rise from my sleep somehow, fully refreshed and calm. How could that have been? I don't know.
Did you have a good rest?
Hell yeah. I turned my head to see Diana at the door, arms crossed and leaning against the door's archway. She had a look of concern and pure curiosity on her face as she awaited my answer. Yes. Do you not know how to knock? Are you okay? I say yeah. Hell yeah. I got a good rest. Yeah. Yes.
Good. A good rest is always important, especially to humans.
Yeah. What about demons?
We rest as well, but it's not sleep like you humans do. We simply rest with our eyes open.
What the fuck? That's so creepy. Why?
It's easier to avoid getting killed when your eyes are open.
Oh wow, what a hard world you live in. Hard life you live. I gulped. Were demons really that paranoid, or were they paranoid for a reason? I mean, for a reason. Diana shook her head and stepped into the room, closing the door behind her.
So we need to find another way to get you back to the human world. It won't be easy, but I believe it can be done by tonight at the latest.
Really? Tonight? Really? Wow. Diana nodded and crossed her arms again, leaning on one hip.
It will take time to get our shadow agents to gather the necessary supplies, but they are not hard to obtain, being that we're in a position of power. You must be lucky.
Wow. God, gee golly whiz. What do you mean? What is that? Diana sighed before casting a short spell under her breath. In front of me appeared a floating map, almost like a hologram. It showed an entire world with mountains, plains, and forests, and it was all surrounded by sea and water. Ooh, interesting. Diana pointed at a marker that had a purple banner at its tip. It was marked in the center of some mountain and forest area. It was also the very center of the map.
That is where we are currently, the center of the Abyssal Plains.
Ooh, okay, so we're here. We are right here. You are here. Diana then ran her finger in a circle around the marker, showing a perimeter around it.
Everything we need for the spell is within this area. It will just take time to gather the materials and prepare it.
Okay. I nodded, understanding the situation. I was going to hopefully be able to go home tonight, which was better than not going home at all. Exactly. So, what should I do until then?
My suggestion? Stay in this room. I can mark this room as off-limits so that no demon may enter that would confuse you for an intruder and kill you.
Oh, that's great. I gulped. I did not want to die. Not here. Not now. Not like this. Diana made the magical map disappear. She shrugged.
However, I cannot stop you from whatever you wish to do. Just don't leave the castle.
Oh my gosh, watch her leave the castle, because that's gonna happen. I nodded as she turned to leave, and as she stepped out, Diana looked back at me with a reassuring look.
We'll get you back to the human world. I promise you that.
Aw, thank you, girl. You're such a homegirl now. Jeez. Finally, she left me alone in the room. I let out a small sigh and looked up at the ceiling. I had to wait until tonight to actually do anything. What was I going to do? Part of me agreed with Diana's suggestion, wanting to stay in the room and be safe in case the guards didn't know who I was and would kill me on sight. My curiosity, however, wouldn't leave me alone and wanted me to explore the castle. I was handed an opportunity to explore the castle in the demon world, and part of me did not want it to go to waste. I was torn on what to do. Oh my god, I'll stay new. Ah, no, I hate you so much. Obviously, I'm gonna go out exploring, but just don't fucking leave the cat. Like she said, don't leave the fucking castle. She said not to leave it, but she did say, we can go around it. You know. She's, as long as we don't leave it, we're good. We are good. There's no way I was letting this chance pass me by. I stood and walked towards the door, opening it a crack and looking around. There was no one in the hall, but there were 2 directions to go. Which way? Fuck! You kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Right. I went with right. I closed the door behind me as I exited my room and began to make my way down the right corridor. Everything was definitely medieval style, and I felt a bit small in the hall. It was like I was in a fairy tale, walking around in a wedding dress. It felt almost dreamlike. The passage seemed long, decorated with walls, candles, paintings, and random curtains and flowers. It was mystical to see, and I smiled. As I approached another fork in the hall, however, I sighed. Really, how does anyone find their way around? That is true. I looked back, knowing I hadn't walked far from my room. I could turn back. Yet... Head back to the room, left, right. Oh my god, no! Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna get fucking lost. I'm gonna get fucking lost. I'm gonna get fucking killed. Go back. Heading back to my absolute safest option, I didn't want to risk getting lost. I spun on my heel and walked back towards my room. When I arrived, I sat on the edge of my bed, now wondering what to do. I sighed and fell back on my bed, unsure of how to pass the time. Staying in my room was the best option for me, both so that I wouldn't get lost and that I'd be okay in case the guards were on duty. I let out a small sigh before looking around the room. Was there anything I wanted to look at closer?
Excuse me.
But oh, hey! Before I could find anything, I looked to the door towards the voice. I looked towards the... I'm getting my sentences mixed up. Before I could find anything, I looked to the door towards the voice. Peeking in was the rabbit woman, cautiously remaining behind the door while looking at me.
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm great. I feel great. Yeah, I am, thank you. Please come in. Yeah, come in. I trusted this woman despite barely knowing her. She assisted me in coming to this room and she was one of Diana's comrades, so I felt that I could put my trust in her. The woman nodded before stepping into the room and closing the door behind her. She turned to me and stood by the door.
I'm assuming Diana told you about the situation.
Yeah, she kinda did. Yeah, I'll be back home tonight. That's the hope anyway.
Yes. We sent our agents as soon as we knew what we had to gather. We're positive they will turn up before nightfall, and we'll be able to cast a gateway spell.
That's great! I nodded and let out a small sigh. It would be a long wait, but it would be worth it if it worked. The woman, however, took a step forward.
May I ask you something?
Sure. What? I looked to the woman, slightly confused. Sure, go ahead. What is it?
Well,
what? I watched as the woman reached up and rubbed one of her ears, almost in nervousness. What was she nervous about? Finally, she spoke again, releasing her ear.
would you mind if I asked you about the human world?
No, sure, I'm gonna tell you all about it. Let me tell you about the human world. The human world? Why would she be curious about the human world? She was a demon and that looked like an anthropomorphic rabbit. The woman hugged her large staff against her body as she shrugged.
How are things like in the human world? Is there equality amongst your races? I've only heard stories, but since you're a human yourself, you would know.
Yeah, there's equality, but there's this thing called racism, so, I don't know. My mind ran back to the social life of the human world. At least in America, we claim to be equal, but we had major prejudice amongst our races, exactly, whether we liked it or not. I found myself to be on neutral ground, not wishing to be extreme on either opinion, but knowing the difference between what was morally right and wrong. I looked to the woman and shook my head, making her eyes widen slightly. We're not exactly equal. I mean, we try, but we're pretty divided. However, it's only one of many problems we face. The woman nodded before walking over and sitting down on the bed beside me.
I see. Are there major wars fought because of it?
Yeah. In a way, we have marches and movements, but we at least tried not to escalate it to war where I live. It's better to resolve things without violence.
That's smart. I hope that equality can be found in your world.
Yeah, me too. What about here? No, clearly not. If you're asking me about equality in the human world, then clearly here is not to be found. The woman shook her head, her smile turning a bit grim. I could tell that things were rough here just from looking at her expression.
We have sort of a caste system here. What kind of demon you are determines what life you live. Demons of Lilith like Diana are usually royals and nobles, while animal demons like me are much, much lower in the ranks.
Aw, that sucks. I could hear her anger and shame just from her voice alone. Were things really that bad here? Yeah. That's horrible. I'm so sorry.
It's alright. That's why I joined the rebellion. We intend to make changes, make it better. I want to be part of that and help fix things.
Aww. There was confidence in her words that didn't match the look in her eyes. She knew something was off in what she said, but she expressed it anyway as her reply to me. I didn't know whether or not to prod or keep silent. I wouldn't be here long, so I decided to keep my mouth shut. The woman shook her head as if she was scattering the thoughts from her mind and looked at me.
So, you are getting married. You must be
Yes.
excited to get back with your family and soon-to-be partner.
Yes, I would be getting married had I not been dragged down here against my will, but whatever. huh? Oh yeah, I'm excited to go back, obviously. For a brief moment, I had nearly forgotten that I was getting married. My mind began to wander to the one who was waiting for me, making my heart ache. As I looked down at my lap, the rabbit woman looked down as well. Which is really funny enough because, like, wasn't she acting like a total bitch towards Erik? And then she's just like, I don't want, like, I don't like you, the way you look, I don't like the way you dress, I don't like the way you walk and shit. And so I don't even know. Maybe the effects of his, like, enthrallment is still on her, but I don't even know. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you upset. But you will be home soon.
That's good, I guess. I don't think so. I don't trust it. I nodded. I shouldn't have let it get me down, but I really did miss being in the human world. I think anyone in my situation would understand, especially since I was a bride. I looked at my hand, seeing my engagement ring and imagining the wedding ring that was made for me, replacing it. Soon enough, it would be on my finger and I would be able to continue living my life as normal. Nah. That's never gonna happen. Pulling myself out of my thoughts, I looked at the woman as she stood and bowed to me.
Well, I should leave you be. I will bring food whenever it is ready, so that you don't starve.
Ooh, food. Food. Thank you, I appreciate it. With that, the woman left, leaving me alone in my room to wait. Okay, where's my food? I remained in my room until the night came. I was given food, which looked like soup. Okay, soup. The woman who gave it to me apologized, letting me know that food was scarce until the upcoming harvest, which was a couple of days away. Being that I was only staying the day, I didn't mind much. Okay, fine. I was more concerned over what I was given to eat. Yeah, it was some sort of stew with mysterious chunks swimming in its broth. It smelled surprisingly good, but who knew how it tasted? Just eat the damn thing. Just eat it. Just fucking eat it. You're fucking, you know what? Just eat it. Just fucking eat it. This isn't like fucking the underworld where, like, if you eat anything in the underworld, then that you will stay in it forever kind of thing. So let's just eat it. Eat it. I gulped. I had to try it. I had to eat it. I hadn't eaten in 2 days. Whoa! Even before I came to the demon world. Holy shit! If you hadn't eaten in 2 days, then all the more reason to eat it. I was pretty certain Diana wouldn't poison me now, and I was fairly sure that she wouldn't serve me anything disgusting. Exactly. So just eat it. I lifted the spoon that was sitting in the broth, letting it capture some of the stew as it rose. I mean, it wasn't terribly scary to look at, so then just eat it then. What are you gonna be so fucking picky for? I gulped and slowly brought the spoon to my lips, feeling the heat emanate from the stew. If I don't look disgusting and suspicious, and I don't smell disgusting or suspicious, and if the setting is, you got some friendly people here, and and you've met them before, and they're trustworthy, then obviously it's okay to eat. A knock rapped on my door, breaking me out of my train of thought. I just want my food. Huh? Come in. Who the hell are you? Oh, Diana, hello. The door opened to reveal Diana with a plate holding things I recognized, bread and cheese. I let out a heavy sigh of relief before Diana laughed.
I suggest not trying that.
What?
As good as it smells, the taste would not sit well with you.
Really? Okay, clearly I put too much faith in you guys then. Sorry. Instantly, I moved the bowl to the nearby table, thankful that I did not have to try it. Diana handed me the plate and nodded, reassuring me that what was on it was indeed what it seemed. Okay, what it seemed. Okay.
It's not much, but it's human food. Eat up.
How did you manage to get that then? I will. Bread and cheese. I began to chow down, feeling the hunger in my stomach dissipate. Yeah. I must try that again. I began to chow down, feeling the hunger in my stomach dissipate with each bite and swallow. The food I was eating, surprisingly, was delicious. As I began to crave something to drink, Diana chuckled and formed a small goblet in her hand, filled with clear liquor that I assumed to be water. Better be water. I took it and drank it down, feeling my thirst quench before I let out a sigh. I feel so much better.
I can tell. Take a moment to finish eating. Then we'll head for the ritual.
Okay. I have a feeling that it's not going to work out well, but okay. I looked up at Diana, suddenly excited. Everything was prepared for it. Was it possible to go home now? No, I don't trust it. I still don't trust it. See, if you can't fucking trust the soup, then how the fuck am I supposed to trust you getting me home? As if she read my mind, she smiled and nodded.
We finished the main preparations. We just need to head over and we'll start.
Okay. I couldn't continue eating. My mind went into an obsessive frenzy of wanting to go home. I stood up, moving the plate and goblet to the nearby table. Let's go. Let's just go.
Huh? Are you sure?
Yeah, let's just do it. I nodded, not wanting to waste any more time. I needed to get home, and I was tired of waiting. Who knows how many days has passed. Diana stared before nodding and heading for the door, opening it for me and exiting after me. As she closed the door behind her, I began to feel my heart flutter in relieved joy. I was heading home. No, you're not. No, you're not. Diana led me down the corridors to the war room where I had originally arrived to reveal the table covered in plants and artifacts of different kinds. None of it made sense to me, but I had to only assume it was what was needed for the spell to work. Diana walked to the table and took note of what she saw, nodding.
This should work.
Okay. I don't think so.
You're in doubt?
I'm in doubt, but I don't know about you guys.
Have to be after the last time we tried sending her home. Do we have a human anchor?
Do we now?
No, you're on your own this time. But we'll make sure you survive casting it.
Oh my goodness, that's reassuring.
The spell should work, however, because we'll be using energy material. It will only require a slice of your energy on top of these items, which your guard can refill immediately after this.
Okay, which means they're gonna bang again?
Just make sure you don't die casting it.
Yeah, that would suck. Diana smiled at her guard before turning to me. Okay.
So, are you ready to return home?
Hell yeah. I've been waiting for this. She didn't have to ask. I'm ready. I'm ready. I don't think it's gonna work. Diana nodded once more before turning back to the table. She lifted her arms over the surface and lowered her head, muttering under her breath.
Otnibris portas, apriat nobis, largiatur exidium, desiderium.
As she spoke, the table began to glow. As she did, a stark purple aura began to surround her form as she lifted and arched her head back, staring at the ceiling. Am I gonna go through the ceiling? Holy shit. A glimpse at her eyes made me gasp. Warm golden orbs covered her blood-red irises, glowing with magic. She was deep within the spell, and I could see it slowly draw energy from her body. The items on the table began to gleam wildly, light orbs floating from them and dancing in the air above the table's surface. They began to weave back and forth with each other, almost as if the lights were dancing to a silent tune. The other demon stepped back as Diana moved her arms up and pointed to the dancing lights. Her fingers pointed into the air, leading the lights to follow where it directed obediently. As she drew a large circle in the air, and the lights followed like a perfect trail, spreading out and forming a large void in the air. As they finally stopped moving, they burst into a bright light, causing the demons and I to cover our eyes from it. Whoa. It engulfed the room, but died down just as fast, revealing a small tear in the air. Diana quickly leaned forward and dug her hands into it before pulling the tear apart, revealing my bedroom! Wow, it actually worked! Okay, I'm gonna go through it before anything else happens. I'm gonna do it. Diana continued to pull the tear open, giving enough space for me to jump through.
Hurry and go through! This is your chance!
Yes, I'm going! God damn! I wasn't going to let it go to waste. I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna dive into that. Swan dive through it. I gripped the bottom of my dress and rushed forward, using momentum to jump into the air and forward towards the void. Whoosh! I could almost reach it. I could feel the air conditioning of my room right at my fingertips, but then something happened.
She will never leave this world
See?
alive!
I told you. See? It's not gonna work. This is so fucking dumb. I fucking hate you. You're a dick. Ouch. The Demon Lord's voice rang through the air just as I saw my fingertips pass through the tear. What stopped the rest of my body was a red light and forcing me and Diana back from the opening. Gah! I'm getting so fucking annoyed right now. Yeah, sorry, Diana. I felt my body fly backwards and slam into the wall before I landed on the stone ground. I heard Diana as well land beside me with a painful thud. I looked up and felt my heart break as the tear became wrapped in red lightning, zipping itself closed and vanishing into thin air. No, this could not be. I had a feeling it would not be, so I'm not surprised. I'm not even surprised.
That should have worked. How could it have failed?
I don't know, but maybe it has something to do with her dream. I don't know. I have a feeling.
Must have missed something. Was there anything we had forgotten?
It seemed to be working pretty well. I don't even know how the hell he noticed.
No. I verified everything myself.
Exactly.
Then why was the Demon Lord able to overpower a gate spell?
I don't know. Stop yelling.
I
God.
highly doubt you know either, brute.
Stop fighting! We need to make a plan and all of you are just being stupid! Stupid, 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 stupid!
Well, all y'all just need to stop fucking yelling. God.
Are you alright, Isaiah?
Eh.
I'm fine.
I'm pretty shitty. I was too lost in my mind to fully understand what was going on around me. I was so close, I felt the other side. I had almost made it home. Yeah, exactly. Why couldn't I go home? I don't know. Why don't you take it up with the big guy? Diana's grunt of pain next to me made me shoot my head towards her, and I watched her slowly push herself off the ground and glare at the table.
The Demon Lord must have done something more than simply bring her here.
Did he put a tracking device on me or some shit? Some magical tracking device? Some GPS shit?
What could he have done?
I don't know. Demonic GPS spell.
Now, the Demon Lord is incapable of doing anything of the sort. His lackey imps must have done something to her.
Oh.
A spell?
Maybe.
A curse.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah! Yeah! I looked to the rabbit woman, seeing her stare wide-eyed at me. The other demons stared at me as well, and suddenly I felt like I was on display. Was something wrong with me? Yes! You were being so fucking hateful towards your man and everything, like you didn't think nothing was going on?
She will not leave the demon world alive. He must have placed some sort of curse on her to prevent her from leaving this plane. In order to leave, she'd have to die.
Really? Really? My day just got so much more fucking better, like, you know? What? Like, seriously? Like, I didn't sign up for this shit. My mind went blank. Did the Demon Lord really curse me? Was I forced to stay in this world until I died? I could never go back?
Are you suggesting a barrier curse?
Maybe. I mean, makes sense.
That would explain the red energy that sealed the tear.
Oh.
But dark magic like that requires...
Requires what?
Blood of 1,000 demons. He must have sacrificed part of his army to cast a curse on her that would prevent her from leaving.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Alright. Wow.
The Demon Lord is that desperate for her.
Yeah, God. Why? Jesus.
The only way to break that kind of curse is to kill the caster, the Demon Lord himself.
Ugh, I figured. Oh my God. Like, what? Seriously, I know I'm a great person, but, like, honestly, like, you need to just sit your ass down.
She's trapped here until this war is over.
Oh, wow. Goody. I mean, I already figured, since, like, if I went back already, then there wouldn't be no story, you know? My body began to shiver violently. The Demon Lord killed 1,000 demons just to trap me here. Yeah, wow. I don't know if I should feel flattered or like, I don't know. Why? Why? I slammed my fist into the ground and began to scream. Now she finally lost it. I mean, you know, I wouldn't blame her, but like, I'd be pretty just like low-key mad rather than just like losing my shit. I want to go home. Why? I want to go home. I could feel the sympathy and anger in the room, but I didn't care. I was livid. I was far past broken. I was seeing red. Ah. As my voice ripped through the air, a bright light erupted through the room once again. Everyone covered their eyes, but Diana quickly scrambled to get on her knees and covered me with her body. Oh, you're so nice to me, girl. Oh my God, is this the part where like our man comes through? Right. She held me tightly as the light invaded the space and slowly began to fade. As the light finally died, everyone moved their hands to see what had happened. In the air was a white tear that was slowly opening, facing down towards the table. Something was coming. I could feel it in the air. The guard summoned his spear and pointed it at the tear, glaring at it and gritting his teeth.
Something's coming!
Yeah, no shit. In reply, Diana summoned what looked like a saber and placed it in front of us.
Ready yourselves! It could be the Demon Lord!
I don't think the Demon Lord was summoned that pretty portal, okay? It's too pretty. The other demons in the room readied themselves and stared at the tear, either holding a weapon or preparing a spell. I felt the air change, becoming heavier as the tear began to grow. The energy around it began to pulsate, making everyone in the room that much more tense. I stared at the tear as well, frightened as to what was coming. Was it the Demon Lord, his minions? My mind began to cycle through fearful ideas of what was about to appear.
Ah!
Yeah, hey guys. Wow, late on the party. My heart stopped. Fallen from the chair and landing on the table were the 5 Incubi brothers. They were piled on top of one another, having come through one at a time. However, as the last brother landed, the boys fell to one side, toppling off of the table and landing on the floor. Welcome to the party. The rebels around me stared at the fallen pile of Incubi, confused and surprised. As the tear in the air closed, the ogre man was the first to lower his sword.
What the hell?
I don't even know how did you guys manage? But like, oh well.
Who are they?
They're the runaway princes that you guys have been talking about so much about.
Careful! They could be the Demon Lord's men!
No, well, in a way they are, but that's beside the point. No. The rebels looked at me as I stood up, Diana following and still protecting me, and I stared at the boys on the ground. They all looked dazed and a bit shell-shocked from having fallen twice in rapid succession. I almost couldn't believe it. There they were, right in front of me. My mind couldn't help but remember how I had first met them. They had all been on the floor in my mansion, unconscious and wounded. Now they were in front of me in the demon world. I know them. Obviously you do. Hey guys! I stared at the one I was meant to marry, seeing him slowly shake his head and rise from the ground. They came to rescue me. He came to rescue me. My heart became overjoyed and full of warmth and happiness. I was going to go home. No, you're not. The question was how.
That's enough for you, human. Oh, you gonna cry? Suck it up.
Oh, is this the end of the demo then? Is that... Shut up, Malix.
See you in the full game.
Yeah. Okay, shut up. I ain't got time for that shit. But, okay, whatever. Did you think it was over? Obviously not. I'm not gonna think it's over. Not even... Obviously. Jesus Christ. What you do if you were taken from the one you love, dropped in the middle of a rebellion? Yo, shit. I'd be on that shit. Bring it on, motherfucker. And you couldn't leave. Yeah, I might as well. If I couldn't leave. Fucking bring it on. Jesus Christ. So you wanna go, bitch? Then yeah, I'll bring it. Bring it on. Anyways, that was the end of Erik's route. That was a really long route, surprisingly. Like, I think that's a little over an hour and a half-ish? Maybe? I don't know. I might still just split it and like compile it and like squish part of it into like the episode that I was talking about with Sam's after story, because that was hella short. So yeah, I'm gonna still split this episode and then do that, yeah, and have this as like a second episode, and then afterwards we can properly start off in the next episode. I forgot who was next. I forgot who was next in the little circle. Whoever's next. Whoever the fuck is next. We're gonna start on his route, or his demo route. Thank you for playing the experience demo today. Yeah, yep, okay, yep. Please know that everything, story, art, and music is subject to change as we we merely wish to show you the product sample. Yeah, I know that. That's what demos are. If you liked it, please consider donating to our Kickstarter. Yes. We thank you for playing. Well, I'm not done playing with it yet. So, okay. Yellow. Who is Yellow again? I think it was James. Okay, so yeah, James. James will be in the next episode, and we can start on his demo route. Hopefully, I'm hoping that it's not going to start off in like kind of in the same manner as we did with Erik. Like, perhaps something different would happen. That's what I'm hoping. I mean, that's like the only reason why like these guys are separate, right? Like, there's no like full out story for like, you know, a starting point. You know how like there's no start button and there's like only like little orbs for the different guys to choose the different guys. And yeah, I'm hoping some things are going to be different aside from like Erik's route. So yeah, we're going to find out in the next episode then. So yeah, tune in next time. Bye! Guys, let's do something. I feel like it's a little too short, and I want to do some exploring. Some exploring. Let's see. Let's go back to here. I want to see what would happen if I picked the magic book instead of grandfather's journal. So we're gonna do that and just see these other choices right here, right now, instead of like later on. So let's choose a magic book. I opened the magic book first, wanting to explore its contents before seeing grandfather's notes. Maybe I'd learn something. Maybe. As I opened it, I was surprised to see that the first couple pages were completely blank. Really? What the? Why? Why? I continued to flip through the pages to find only more blank pages. Was this book not really a book, but a notebook of some sort? What? I stared at the pages, unsure of what its purpose was. As I gazed onto the blank sheets, however, they began to very slowly fill up with words and images. Ooh! Whoa! It's like some Harry Potter shit! What? The images that formed on the pages looked to be painted with brushstrokes, while the wording was in an elegant cursive that I could read clearly. The top of the first page, however, had a word in simple lettering. Spirits! Ooh, why was the book wanting to show me information on spirits? The laughter that drove me to the room sounded like a child. Was it from a spirit? Yeah, no shit, it is. I read onward, curious as to why the book was showing me this. Spirits were categorized by their origins. Angels and devils could never be spirits, only reborn through a cycle to become angels and devils once again. Wow, okay. Human spirits were either brought to heaven, purgatory, or hell, depending on what they had done during the course of their lives. If they were kind and good, they were gifted entry to heaven. If they were evil and cruel, they were sent to hell. Yeah, that's a given. I was surprised. Did this make Christianity legitimate? It didn't mention God, so I wasn't entirely sure. Oh, that's true, yeah. I wanted to close the book, but my curiosity led me to read on. Demons, on the other hand, either were sent to purgatory or were reincarnated into a new demon. Demons could never be human. Really? Then what about Damien? However, humans and demons shared one thing in common. They both could also end up not being sent anywhere. Sometimes the spirit could be trapped in either world, forever doomed to wander until something is fulfilled. Huh. Ghosts existed too? This was crazy, and yet it made sense. Maybe those TV shows that featured ghost encounters actually had merit. Wow. Okay. I don't mess with ghosts, though. I don't fuck with ghosts. The idea of seeing a ghost was a bit unbelievable. Sure, it was surreal enough meeting demons and the devil, but ghosts seemed to be a bit more realistic in a way. Regardless of who you were in a human world, you knew about ghosts. Not a lot of people knew about demons. The fact that demons could also be spirits boggled my mind as well. Was it really possible to meet a demon spirit? Yeah. Oh, is that it? Is that, the end of that? Yeah, it is. So let's go to another point in time in which we could choose differently. Maybe here? Maybe here? Maybe. I don't know what would happen if I say forget about it, because either way I would have told him about it. I don't know. Let's just go for funsies. Let's just go for funsies. If I couldn't see it, then it had to be something I had just imagined. Nah. I smiled and nodded to Erik. Yeah, I figured why not? I couldn't sleep and dancing is always a good way to burn off energy, right? Erik smiled and nodded, leaning in and kissing my forehead. It was a white lie, but he couldn't have believed me anyway. Erik gently... wait, yeah. That's... This one have done well, because what if it's brought up in the future, and then he wouldn't know what the hell we would be talking about. And he'd be like, what? What do you mean, spirit? Okay, that was really completely useless. Let's go to another point. Let's go to this point. How about we not go for it this time, you know? I feel like it's just, like, it just came out so out of the blue. Like, really? Like, seriously, Hannah? Just, wow, girl. Anyways, since I was more of a person to just go big or go home kind of thing, let's actually just, like, part of me also kind of felt like, yeah, it was really out of the blue, and that, you know, as much as we'd enjoy it, let's just not go for it. It just seemed so out of place. I shook my head. I didn't want to ruin a romantic moment with sex. As much as it was amazing and good, it was not something that needed to be done every time we shared a moment. Exactly! Maybe I should have chosen this. Besides, I was tired. I just wanted to get some sleep and let the moment we had shared resonate in my memories. Oh my god, it'd be really funny if he, like, decided to make a move on us. Erik led me back to our room and we both got comfy together in bed, ready for sleep. He nuzzled my forehead with his before pressing a kiss to it. I kissed him back before allowing my body to rest. I drowned in the warmth Erik's body gave me as I drifted off to dreamland. So... what? Maybe I should have just chosen that. Cause like I honestly like, even though a part of me really like, I don't know, I was split in between. Okay, whatever. Just for future references, I guess. Let's see what else we could have done. Ooh, exploring the castle. Right. I like chickened out, and I was like, fuck that shit. So last time, I think this was. Oh yeah, we chose right. This was before we got up to like the fork in the road. Let's go left. I was heading right, so I decided to try the opposite direction this time around. I turned left and turned down the hall, greeted by more fantastical decor. The hallways began to almost drive me nuts. I found myself going upstairs, then downstairs, then wound up in a four-way corridor. Where have I landed myself? Yeah, this would have been a bad idea. I became frustrated. Maybe giving in to my curiosity was a bad idea. Yeah, I made the smarter choice in the first time. However, the sound of an argument traveled through the air and caught my attention. What?
And you brought me this. Why?
Why, what?
Sir, the rebel queen demanded it be brought here along with the other materials.
Right.
A flower is not important to the ritual. Throw it away or something.
He said he checked everything over. He lied. Why are you fucking lying?
But sir,
I don't want to hear it. Get out.
Why? What's so important about the flower, though? I bet the flower was really important. What? From a nearby door, a man dressed in a dark cloak holding a white lily-like flower practically ran out. He left the door ajar but let out a sigh before turning to walk away, not noticing me. What the? Why? I walked over and peeked in, seeing that the room was a library. It was huge, and in the middle of it, by a table covered in books, was a lanky man who cast the shadow spell before.
I know you are there, human.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, he must be skilled enough, or else. How did he know what? Was he able to smell me or something? The man turned to look at me from over his shoulder.
Please don't just stand there. If you wish to come in, then come in. I'm not fond of people peeking into doorways.
Okay, gosh. Immediately, I stepped into the room, not wanting to be rude. The man turned towards me and crossed his arms, taking in my full form.
Well, what may I help you with?
What you doing? Oh, I was just wandering around. I didn't mean to intrude or anything.
You needn't. You'll be returned to the human world soon enough.
Okay. God, I was just trying to make small talk with you. I bit my lip. He was right. I really didn't need to wander around if I was never going to return. Still, my curiosity was pulling me to explore the castle, and there I was in a library. Well, I simply wanted to see more of the place I happened to land in.
I see. And have you found anything of interest in your little exploration?
Yeah, hell yeah, you. You're hiding secrets, aren't you? Secrets. I found this library, didn't I?
That you
secrets.
have.
And secrets. The man turned back to the table as I took a moment to look around. There were so many books, it was almost dizzying to peer at them all. How much information was stored here? A shit ton. The man glared at me as he continued to work on whatever he was focusing on. Just pretend I'm not even here.
I'm curious about something, human.
What?
Since you're here, you can answer this.
What? I turned back to the man as he straightened up and faced me once again.
Are you well-versed in war?
No. Excuse me? That came out of nowhere. Why would he expect a woman in a wedding dress to know about war? No, I can't say that I am. Humans tend to try and stay out of war.
Truly?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I've heard that your world is ruled by multiple leaders and beliefs. How are you not constantly at war?
Because we have come to accept one another. Sort of. From the tone of his voice, it almost sounded like he was mocking me. Did he think little of humans? I glared. Probably. We try and maintain peace because we all know we're different. We don't always agree on things, but we all mostly agree that war is bad, so we avoid it. The man took one more look up and down at my form, most likely searching for some physical sign that I was lying or exaggerating. When he seemed to notice that I wasn't, he rubbed his chin gently as he leaned back against the table behind him.
Humans are such interesting creatures.
Bah.
You have your own societies and countries, ruled by presidents and governments. You are ununited, and yet you thrive. I wonder if the demon world can benefit from such a seemingly ignorant agreement.
I think it will, you know. Was he being serious right now? Why was he being so why was he being stuck up? I crossed my arms, glaring harder at him. Why does it matter to you what the human world does? You're a demon. Things we do there don't affect anything here.
Ah, but that is where you are mistaken.
He's not a demon. Then what are you? The man walked around the table and gestured to the books and maps that had covered its surface.
When fighting a war, you need to look at all of the details to try and find the most efficient ways to bring your enemy down. When resolving it, you must be able to not only bring peace, but you must also know how to manage the land you have conquered in the aftermath.
That is true. Okay, suddenly it's a war history lesson. I looked at the map to see multiple routes and ideas plastered over the parchment. Was he seriously doing this much research for this war? Yeah. It's tactical decision making. However, the man simply crossed his arms.
Unfortunately, I suppose that research on the human world would be for naught. We are two different worlds, after all. Yours is built on steel and electricity, while our world is flooded with magic and stone.
Uh-huh. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Why was he even talking to me at this rate? The man smirked at the agitated look on my face and chuckled. Seriously. What's so funny?
I guess it's also true that humans are easily angered. Your expression gives you away so easily.
Shut up. I growled before turning on my heel and leaving the library. Rude ass. Motherfucker. Shit. I was better off in my room. That is so true. I remained in my room until the night came. I was given... Oh, okay, so here we are. We're back here with the sleep again. The untrustworthy sleep. Okay, so that's that. I wonder what would happen if we went right. Ooh. That would be interesting. Let's try that. We're gonna do some experimentation here. Let's go... Ooh. Well, you know, I could have went right. Whatever. Let's go right. I was heading right anyway. Might as well do it again. I turned right and headed down the hall, greeted by more fantastical decor. Maybe I will meet somebody else. Maybe. My journey down the hall led me to a set of stairs, which led me to a door to the outside. I remember Diana's warning, but I was curious. I slowly approached the door and opened it, peeking outside to see what it held. Oh, so we found the outside door. Oh my gosh.
Soldiers!
Oh my god! This is so funny! Oh. I bet it's the guy though, the ogre guy. I jumped at the sound of a commander's voice, feeling the chill that ran through me when I first encountered the Demon Lord in the Incubi's vision. The Demon Lord wasn't here, was he? No, it's probably that guy. That big buff guy. Yeah, there he is. I peeked past the door once again to see the large, muscular man whom I met when I fell into the world, barking orders at a large group of soldiers. They were all attentive and obedient towards each command as he shouted.
You all performed well in holding the Demon Lord off. But if we want to win this war, then you will need to become much stronger. We want to win, yes?
Duh. Oh, look, the sky's purple.
Yes, Commander! Good! Then pair up and fight like you were fighting the Bastard Lord himself. Keep going until I give you clearance to stop.
I'm gonna have conversations with him. God damn. On his order, the soldiers turned each... On his order, the soldiers turned either left or right and began to spar as if they were seriously battling each other. It was almost scary to watch swords clanging violently and shields beating against steel.
Human!
Hi! Hey there, big guy. I felt my fear take over as he called out my race, making me stand up straight as the door swung fully open on its own. I wasn't able to hide anymore.
Front and center!
Yes, correct. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On its own, my body began to walk towards the muscled ogre man, and soon I was standing front and center with the sparring clashing behind me. This isn't really fair, though. I mean, I would have come either way.
Do you have jurisdiction to leave your room, human?
She said I could leave my room, but she specifically said to not go outside. So yes, I do. I felt my answer force itself out as if I had no control over myself. Why was this happening? Because he's using some sort of a Jedi spell. Jedi mind tricks right here. I looked at the ogre man and noticed his golden eyes burning into my gaze. Was he using his powers on me? Duh. The man crossed his arms and looked at my farm.
Why are you here then?
Just taking a walk, getting some fresh air. I was curious! With a raised eyebrow, the man uncrossed his arms and looked over to a weapon rack. On it was spears, swords, shields, and other weaponry that I really did not want to deal with while wearing a wedding dress.
Tell me, are you proficient with the sword?
I don't know if Hannah knows fencing. She only knows martial arts. Was he seriously going to make me fight? I somehow regained control of myself and shook my head. No, I mean, I can do taekwondo, but...
Taekwondo? What is that?
It's, hand-to-hand combat. I gulped but remembered that he was a demon. Human fighting was not like demon fighting. Well, it's a form of fighting without weapons.
What, like brawling?
Not really. No, it's like precision fighting, I guess. I mean, I can't really show you in this dress, but...
Then take off your clothes.
No, sir! Sir, my face instantly turned red. What? I stepped away and crossed my arms over my chest, feeling myself become red in anger and embarrassment. No, why would I do that? The man growled inside, rubbing his head. Did he seriously think asking me that was a great idea? Was a good idea? What was he, a pervert? He's just a little dunce, I guess. The man then crossed his arms again and stared plainly at me.
If clothes hinder you from defending yourself, you shouldn't wear any. You can look as fancy as you want for whatever reason you want, but fancy clothes won't protect you from a blade.
I know that, but it's not that I willingly came here dressed all fancy and shit and then expect to fight. No, obviously not. But still, I gotta still look glamorous in some sort of way, you know. Armor ain't pretty. I ain't wearing that armor if it ain't pretty. I stared. Was he seriously giving me a lecture about clothes and defending myself? He looked pretty serious, so I continued to listen without interrupting.
There's only one thing in this world that should matter to you. Yourself. If you can't protect yourself, then you need to fix that. Even if that means stripping out of that wedding garb thing or whatever you're wearing.
I can make it shorter. Yeah, you can make it into like a mini skirt, like a battle skirt or some shit. But I don't need to defend myself right now. I just wanted to show you...
Then show me or don't suggest the idea. Words also have power here. Unlike the human world, we take what we say very seriously.
Okay. I suddenly felt small looking at the man. Was he trying to teach me a lesson? I understood what he meant, but was he trying to teach me or berate my reaction? He was making no sense, yet I felt like I should have been listening intently and obeying. Was it his commanding aura? Maybe. The man shook his head and pointed at the door I came from.
Return to where you came from. You'll be sent back to the human world soon enough. Don't distract my soldiers from their training.
Yeah, I got it. I'm going. God damn. I looked behind me to find some of the soldiers looking at me as they fought, some in hunger, some in confusion, others in disgust. My arms wrapped themselves around my forearm and shivered before nodding to the commander and rushing towards the door. Bitch, what you staring at? What you staring at? Maybe I should have stayed in my room. I marched back to my room, determined to not allow my curiosity to get the better of me anymore. Nah, you're just lying to yourself now. Okay, so that's that. We meet the commander, so I'm pretty sure on the other instances, we might meet the fairy lady. So let's go left. So I went with left. I closed the door behind me as I exited my room and began to make my way down the left corridor. Everything was definitely medieval style, and I felt a bit small in the hall. Okay, so yeah, that's all the same as when we turned right the first place, and until we reached the fork in the road. Let's go right? Yeah, let's go right. I was heading left, so I decided to go to the opposite direction this time. I turned right and headed down the hall, greeted by more fantastical decor. The hall became longer and longer as I continued to walk. However, I suddenly stopped at the sound of a shout.
Beware my evil reign and bow to your new overlord!
Okay. What the? I turned towards where the shout was erupting from and saw a door ajar. As I peeked into the room, the door led into. I stared at what I had saw. Yeah, we meet the fairy creature thing, person, yeah, whatever. A floating creature was standing over top of the table that held a map and miniature pieces, as if someone had set up a strategy board game. The creature was planted on top of a red marker as if the marker was their mount. Okay.
I will rule the entire world, and no one can stop me, because I am the Demon Lord!
Okay. I thought this was a very serious time to be in, not for like roleplay and shit. As it switched to a different personality, the creature quickly jumped and floated over to a purple marker, striking an exaggeratedly sexy pose.
Oh no! I will stop you with my massive boobies and butt powers! I will rule this world, not you! And everyone will love me!
Okay. Nice. I watched as the creature bounced back and forth between pretending to be the Demon Lord and Diana, lost and intrigued as to how small and quick they were. Okay. How? What?
Your boobies cannot scare me, for I have a penis, and penises ward off fear!
What? Okay, okay there. Maybe we should just leave. We'll just leave her to her
You
own.
may have a penis, but I have an army that practically worships my overly curvy and ridiculously perfect body. Oh!
Okay, let's just leave her to her own devices. I stifled a laughter. Oh, I stifled a laughter. This was actually rather amusing to watch, seeing the creature imitate the demon lord and their own leader.
Then come here, and I will show you the true power of a demon lord.
Okay.
Soldiers, attack!
Okay. I stared as the creature suddenly formed multiple little miniature soldiers on opposite sides of the table, using magic to make them crash and smack against each other as if an invisible child was playing with them. Okay. There were even some small squeaky stuffed animals and glass figures smacking and crashing together. It was a chaotic little show.
Oh no! We're being overrun!
Okay.
Do not hold back! We'll beat him!
Okay.
The pain! Why? I see it! I see the light!
Okay. I couldn't stop the laughter from erupting from my stomach. I began to guffaw, amused by the little show I was witnessing. Hello. The creature, in surprise, poofed into a cloud of smoke before appearing and falling back over the side of the table in its regular size, or at least what I assumed to be their regular size. Oh, okay, so like, I was like, how small is this person supposed to be when she mentioned how like small and quick they were? I'm like, well, they look pretty like life size to me. Okay, but whatever. Whoa, I'm sorry. Are you okay?
Yep, I'm okay.
Okay. The creature managed to hop up and started floating again behind the table, giving me a thumbs up as if nothing was wrong. Their clothes were a bit disheveled, but they gave me a toothy grin.
Hiya!
Hi. Hi, hee hee, hi. Sorry for disturbing your,
Huh? Oh, my game! It's okay. I was just getting to the good part.
Okay. I'm sorry I interrupted. The good part. The creature nodded before leaning over the table and rearranging all of the figurines that still remained on it.
Yeah, when Diana kills the demon lord and takes over the world.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I figured. The way that they put it made it seem like Diana was going to be an overlord. Was she really trying to take over the world? The creature looked at me and chuckled.
Oh, you don't know what's happening, huh? Well, we're all fighting the demon lord, and by we, I mean me and Diana and the others. But anyway, we're fighting the demon lord because he's a tyrant and we don't like tyrants. So we're gonna kill him and take over.
Yes, I would imagine that's how it would go. They made it seem so simple and so joyous. Yeah. I mean, it's fun. You guys are really gonna kill him and take over? Well, duh.
Huh? Duh!
Yeah.
The demon lord is completely crazy! He's burnt down so many villages and destroyed so many forests! He's only causing us harm! That's why we have to stop him!
Exactly, Hannah. God! Get with the program. The creature then put the purple marker next to the red marker, glaring at both.
We have to kill him before he hurts anyone else!
Yeah. With a flick of their wrist, they used the purple marker and knocked the red one over violently, making it skid across the table towards the edge. Just from the look on their face, they seemed peeved about the demon lord. I would be too. Hell, I already was. Yeah, so like then you should be all for killing this dude. God, you all will win, hopefully. The creature looked up at me before letting go of the marker and placing their hands behind their head and with a grin.
You think so?
Sure! I mean, you got to, because I can't fucking leave if you don't. I nodded with a reassuring smile. They seemed confident enough to battle the demon lord, and if it was for the best, then it had to be done. The creature nodded back to me before yawning.
So, you're gonna marry a demon, huh?
I was supposed to, yeah. Oh, what? What? I stared at them, unsure where the change in topic came from. The creature laughed a bit.
Don't tell me you forgot!
I sorta did, because, you know, the situation that I got myself into. Oh no, it's not that, it's just, where did this come from?
Well, you are heading home tonight. This is my only chance to ask why.
Because I love him with my whole being. Why?
Yeah, why a demon? Why not another human? I mean, I'm not against demons and humans getting together or whatever, but I was just curious, you know? There are like billions of humans on your world. Why a demon?
Because I love him. He's such a cutie pie, and he treats me right. I took a moment to think about the demon in question whom I was marrying. His face made me smile, and the thought of it, and the thought of being able to be with him again made my heart warm up in excitement. God, his presence remained in my heart, and I knew my answer. Because I love him. See, I told you.
You love him?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I do. The creature stared at me as if I had 3 heads. The creature stared at me as if I had 3 heads. Was what I said wrong? No, it couldn't have been because it was true, and yet the creature continued to stare at me oddly. Why? Is there no such thing as love in your world? What? What? Yeah, what?
Huh? Oh, nothing. It's just weird.
Weird? God, what's weird?
Love. It's just weird, okay? But if it works for you, that works, I guess. It's not like I'm the one getting married.
Exactly, so, oh my gosh. I stared at the creature, unsure of what they meant. However, before I could question them, they yawned and stretched out.
Alright, I'ma steal some snacks. You should head back to your room or whatever so that Diana doesn't catch you snooping around. She doesn't like snooping. Or was it swooping?
It's snooping, but okay, I getcha. The creature shrugged as I nodded. It was probably for the best that I returned to my room. I knew my way back, so I left the room and returned to my room. Okay, so we met the fairy, and I'm starting to lose track on what the hell I've done so far in terms of like which way to choose shit, you know. So I think that was left. I went left, and then did I do left or did I do? I think I did right with the fairy. Let's go left. Let's go left. Let's go left. I was heading left anyway, might as well make another left. I turned left once more and headed down the hall, greeted by more fantastical decor. The sound of a heated battle caught my attention. I quickly rushed over to see a door barely opening a crack, and behind it echoed the sound of clashing swords. Oh yeah, we didn't meet with that one guy with the spear. Yeah. And Diana, that too. Hello. I peeked in to see Diana and the guard that was with her before in an intense sword fight. Now that I could take a closer look, the man was extremely handsome and looked human, yet I could sense that he was very much a demon just from his presence alone. And his ears. You could tell by his ears, okay? It's not that fucking hard. The man had the upper hand, but it was easy to tell that he was holding back slightly by letting Diana swing her sword again and again at him before attacking her and forcing her to defend. The look on Diana's face showed pure concentration and almost anger as her sword clashed with his. I had never seen Diana with this intense before, so to see stress and determination written across her expression was a surprise. Why was she fighting with a sword though? She had demon magic. Oh yeah, that is true.
You're holding back! Enough!
Okay. Diana jumped back from the man, bringing her sword to her side as the man did the same in perfect sync. She growled before tossing the weapon to him, and he caught it by the hilt with ease.
I told you not to hold back. Didn't you hear me?
No, but he cares too much for you. He don't want to hurt you. The man stared at Diana before gently bringing the swords together and making them vanish into a soft black mist. He began to walk towards her as she turned around and crossed her arms.
You can't treat me as if you are training a child, Sarah. I need to be ready for whatever the demon lord throws my way, and you holding back is only a hindrance to me.
Then why don't you, use your demon magic against him?
I apologize, my lady.
Okay.
Empty words.
Huh. It clicked. They were training. This man was her trainer, and she was being treated like a novice. Why? Also, he did apologize. Why was she being so harsh about it? Maybe it was a mistake? I don't know. Diana let out a sigh and walked over to the balcony of the room, laying her hands on the railing and leaning over her arms.
As each day goes by, my kingdom, my army, and I are constantly at risk. If I cannot defend myself when my energy runs out, then how will I defend this kingdom?
Ah, I see. So you're taking precautions and countermeasures because cool.
You will be victorious.
How do you know?
I will be slaughtered because of your inability to train me properly.
Oh my, we're getting in on all the secrets of this castle.
You know why I cannot, and yet you still demand it of me. I cannot bring myself to even potentially harm you.
Okay, aw, he's still caring.
And that will lead to my death.
Okay. What? What was Sarah talking about? Why couldn't he train her properly? Why was she so peeved about it? Couldn't she just get another trainer? No, because there is no one better.
You will not die, my lady. I promise you that.
Uh-huh.
I cannot trust anyone who says that to me.
Okay.
But you know that it's true. I will repeat my promise over and over to you until you accept it.
Okay.
That promise comes out of a lie.
Oh my god, what is happening? What is this drama? What is this bad blood? I watched as Sarah walked over to Diana and gently wrapped his arms around her from behind. She didn't resist, but she didn't lean into the embrace either. Oh.
My love for you is not a lie, Azair.
Oh. Oh.
You do not have permission to use my name.
Oh goddamn, she seems so like, get away from me.
You are avoiding the subject. My feelings for you are real.
Yeah, we're about to witness this magical
Your
love.
feelings are false.
Don't deny him, Diana. You need someone to love too.
They are as pure and true as your golden heart.
Oh, I could not believe what I was seeing. Diana had an admirer. When did this become a thing? Who even was this guy to her? Who even is? Why was she so against him and his love? Why?
You will defeat the Demon Lord and bring freedom to the Abyssal Plains. You will rise and become the land's new queen and sovereign, and I will stand beside you forevermore, because I love you.
Oh, come on. Look at how fucking cute he's being, girl. He has so much dedication to you. I don't even fucking know him, and I'm already shipping them together. Oh, look at that.
Deny my love all you may. I have served you and your family my entire life.
Oh, damn.
I could never lie or hurt you. If you truly cannot love me back, then I will remain as your humble protector and servant till the end of my days.
Wow, dedication.
You waste your life on me.
Oh.
It is not a waste to serve and protect the woman I love with my life.
Oh.
You waste your love on me.
Because she don't understand. Apparently nobody understands what love is in this world. Well, maybe, like, I don't know, aside from me and him.
It's not a waste to love such a wonderful woman.
Wow, maybe I shouldn't be here, you guys. I should go. I didn't know what to make of this. Sarah really seemed dedicated to Diana, yet she was putting up some sort of emotional wall between them, and that he couldn't break through. It was sad to watch, yet from the posture Diana held, I could tell that she felt her actions were justified. Maybe she was trying to protect him from her, maybe she didn't want to hurt him. I had seen firsthand what she could do if you had something she needed. This must be how she acted when something needed her. Oh, whoa. Okay. This is definitely a place where we shouldn't be right now. Diana gently sighed. To his and my surprise, Diana turned her body slightly to Thero in his arms and ran her hand over Thero's chest, making his uniform top vanish into purple mist and leaving his chest bare. What was Diana doing? Holy shit! You use your demon magic for this? Okay, I see. Alright, okay, you don't want to use it to fight, but you use it to undress people. Alright,
I need energy.
Lies.
From me, or do you wish me to?
Just give me your energy. I have no time to wait for you to get me a sweet flower.
Oh, okay, then we should leave. We should definitely leave. We need to go, Hannah. We need to go. Sarah nodded before gently turning Diana fully to him in his arms and kissing her. For some reason, it may have looked like a normal kiss, but I could feel the love and passion that ran through it. It was almost magical to watch. Okay, well you don't. We can't watch this. That's the problem. We need to go. We need to just leave these two alone. One thing was for certain, however, he really did love her. The way he held her painted his feelings like a picture, so openly gentle and loving. Did she love him, though? She simply had one hand holding one of his arms while another rested against Thero's back. I think so. Diana's feelings were an enigma. I think she, deep down inside her heart, very deep down, she loves him. I quickly took the moment to leave, not wanting to disturb them and not wanting to see their moment go any farther than that kiss. Exactly. We just need to leave. Bye. Damn. Like I said, we are just getting in on all the secrets in this castle. Wow. Okay. So that, I guess that's. Is that all? Maybe that's all the choices I could make. Cause I'm not gonna bother too much with that one part where like we either choose to cry, scream, and like get angry or attack or some shit. Because that's all I'm really particularly curious about. So what was this? I just wanna. Oh my bad. Ah shit. Oh well. Oh well. I thought I loaded. Hold on. I overrid a save, but whatever. I don't think it wasn't that important. It will probably come back up later in the route. But anyways, I guess that means we can be officially done. Just kind of moseying around and exploring around in Erik's route. So yeah, we're done in Erik's route. Yay! And so we can continue on to James's route in the next episode. Officially, now that I've done, snooping and like being curious about different answers and shit. So yeah, then tune in next time, you guys. Bye! Officially, bye for reals. Bye!